Left goal. Okay.
Yeah, he's a one-name guy. I mean, he's at that level now with Pele and Cher, Madonna.
Look at Richmond taking right down the main.
A trust in Leotopoulos as well for Patino. He only averages 4 minutes per game. He's been out here in the first half. Second round of the NCAA tournament, trying to cover Boogie Fland.
He's a very good shooter. They need him. They need somebody to do something.
Brazil hands off Wagner. Wagner trying to get to the basket, sends it out, deflected. Fland has it, 4 to shoot. Richmond in the paint. Richmond, yes.
Richmond.
Look at the foul trouble. 4 players with 2 apiece.
And I don't blame this too.
But Richmond cleans it up.
And I don't blame.
Fland, step back, rejected by Ejiofor. Davis launches. That won't go. Richmond the offensive rebound. He puts one up, and it rattles in. Billy.
That's a big
difference. Lewis lost it. Wagner with nobody back. Scott chasing him. Richmond.
Wagner. 4 fouls. I don't know. A little early. Up 6.
Wagner spinning on Lewis. And it goes. Coming up on 3 minutes to play.
They love this high pick and roll in the middle of the floor.
Adu calling for it. He's got it with 5 to shoot. Richmond comes to get it. His jumper. Yes! Billy the Kid.
And so quick getting into that shot. Murray is a really good player, and he's so good with the ball. Just hardly ever turns it over. That's why it was so surprising to see him turn it over for an easy layup and then foul on top of it.
A 38% three-point shooter on the season, and the lead is back up to 9 for Ole Miss. Richmond the drive, and the lefty finishes.
But how about that?
On down. Would have been an 18-point game. It has been all Rebels in recent minutes. Richmond hit his first 3 of the season yet. Long stretch without a whistle here late in the first half. Richmond always looking to attack and gets it to go.
Security is going to be a big factor going down the stretch. Be aggressive, but be sure.
And no Wagner in the game right now for Arkansas. Richmond take it over.
What South Carolina needs him to do, hit open shots and protect the rim.
Richmond left alone, and he'll knock down the 3. Dogs to win this game, to not lose to the number 16 seed in the SEC. South Carolina would love nothing more than to play spoilers. Richmond
is just stronger.
Pringle could not handle the alley-oop attempt on the inbounds play. Billy Richmond can at the other end. 4th for Arkansas, and Arkansas is among the national leaders in blocks per game this year. 5th in the NCAA at just under 6 per game. And with guys like Brazil and Richmond and Adu, you can see why. Richmond takes a bump, gets to the baseline, and knocks down the shot.
Well, there's that.
Harris knocks down the triple.
That's a heck of a start for Claudio Harris. You need guys like him, Melendez, to be able to get buckets.
Yeah, there's Richmond.
Make it easier for him.
There's Matthews. Bounce pass. That one was blocked by Avicic, one of the better shot blockers in the nation. Lead feed to Richmond, and
the double here comes.
Adu flings it back out. Davis, the runner, offline. Oh, Richmond tapping.
That has not allowed Arkansas many fast break pushing the basketball up the floor, which is what they like to do. If Arkansas gets stops, oh my, this is what they do in the offensive end.
Edwards hits the deck. Blocked again. That's the 5th shot he's had blocked tonight.
Beautiful.
And on the other end, Richmond finishes it.
In layups this afternoon. They get 0-3. Outside to Knox. Last Arkansas bucket nearly 10 minutes ago, and finally that changes.
Yep.
Arsenal on a Saturday afternoon in Columbia. Murray Boyles with 24.
Ivicic giving him that space.
so Murray Boyles doesn't blow by him. And that's the next addition to Murray Boyles' game. A little mid-range jump and even be more consistent behind the three-point line.
Ooh, Davis outside. 2 on the timer. Richmond lays it up and in. Hero. He'll get it to Cam Scott. And he turns it over. Knocks the lob. Richmond the finish.
And you're going to be. But hasn't scored since. Here's Arthur Kaluma off balance. And the tip from Shedrick, no good. Interesting conundrum for John Calipari and his coaching staff right now. They're knocking it down from the perimeter, but he really wants to go inside to Jonas Adu. He thinks that's a huge advantage. Richmond on the run. Floater good.
Like they did with Texas, stringing the Arkansas defenders out and make the hockey assist. And good play by Trey Johnson to just knock it down.
Here's Adu, transfer from Tennessee. Was a starter good chunk of the season. Then Big Z got hot. Having a tight rotation. You know what that means?
What?
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats me. I can promise you that. And that's interesting because usually that's how it's always been. The league is so deep now. Guys are going 9 or 10 deep and playing with their rosters. But 7 used to be it.
Richmond from short range.
Out Grill keeping it alive to Mitchell. Grill will hoist another one. And the board to Billy Richmond III. Here's the freshman trying to go coast to coast, and he finishes with the left.
It's the defense to have to respect him. 36 points at the paint.
Foul no good by Richmond. Gets it back, stays with it, and puts it in.
In that 2022 season where they lost to Arkansas, they were ranked 3 straight weeks as number 1. Broom missing from the perimeter, not a great shooter from out there. Richmond soaring to the rim and getting the slam.
And also the last time we played at home, we gave up 90 points to Florida.
Turnover, numbers, alley-oop. Great pass by Davis and the slam by Richmond.
Out executing the play design by John Calipari. See if they try to get something going for Z at the rim.
Instead, driving the lane and scoring is Richmond. Well, he got the call. Side out, and that being the 4th team foul. Lob to Avicic over his shoulder catch. Looking for his first points of the game. Instead, he stopped his dribble. Excellent defense in the half-court Auburn. Again on the drive, it's Richmond getting to the...
Game day was there. The ratings were through the roof.
And that's a game people still talk about to this day as great set play against
Avicic. Wagner will return with Thero at the next step ball. Richmond lost his footing. Bonds will be late getting into their offense. Adu finds Richmond, cuts through. What a move by Billy Richmond III. His dad.
So Avicic will get a breather, and a pull-up J goes for Billy Richmond. Tough shot with the shot clock winding down, and Arkansas trying to pull away here in the second half. There goes Richmond.
Cal will play call for the entire second half with his offense in front of him.
Richmond found an opening and converts. They lost to Purdue on November 15th. And then they lost to Oregon to close out the month of November. Since then, they've only dropped 1. Richmond rolls it home.
From Arkansas.
Tied 52% from the floor in the second half. Here's Richmond. Short corner pull-up. Got it! And he's fouled. Sears on the attack. Trying to dump it off. Avicic with the steal. Hogs have scored the last 7 to make it a game. Richmond downhill. Oh my God!
They made 3 of their first 4, and they've made 3 of their last 11. Well, on 2, he's a good to Arkansas the same way he once drew up the blueprint here in Kentucky. Whoa! Richmond knocked down. Shooter like, yeah, I'm going to shoot it well. You better come guard me early.
Everyone's a shooter today for Missouri. They've got 10 triples.
And you kind of wonder, can Arkansas make a move? Wow.
Yeah, there's Richmond.
Salen. It's been some great effort the last few minutes from Arkansas. Layup, Richmond running the floor.
But they've not gotten, it's become very rare they've gotten open looks against Arkansas.
Yeah, not as prolific three-point shooting in their 3 SEC games as in the non-conference. Understandable to a certain degree.
Almost the rest of the way.
Well, this would have been house money if Arkansas could have won on the road today at Tennessee. Like I said, you've got to now regroup and make sure you win your home games as well. And every coach in the league understands that formula.
The Aggies defend the arc. There's a takeaway. Richmond, he's in the open floor. Look out! Boy, tough shot there from Landon Glasper. Oh. Going left off the backboard. Richmond, count it! He'll head to the... And Adu got beat down the floor by Hida Kudus, who threw it down.
Nice play by Hida Kudus. And the ball's the most important thing. You got to stop the ball.
Here's Boogie Fland. Richmond off to Knox. Shot clock in single digits. Back to Richmond. Fires for 3. Got it. Actually, that's a 2 from the field. And 13 of their last 17 overall. In and out. Richmond, though, with the rebound.
Billy Richmond, you got to finish that one. Big C going to work. Can't finish. And there's Richmond to follow it in. First point is tall to contend with him.
Right. And when you watch Adu play, he gets into bodies. He hunts a body. He hunts for physicality. He wants.
Years ago, he lit it up in the ACC. That's a long 3 from Joseph.
Joseph was out here. He said, I haven't got to play that much.
Make up my shots lack of shots in 1 half or 1 game.
You guys got to play 8 games, 9 games. It's my time.
Billy Richmond, good, he's okay after he took that.
And a whistle before he could get off a shot.
Billy Richmond attacking the basket. I heard
3-8 Illinois. Wagner pull up pop. Off. Offensive board and the putback goes. Leftover.
Doesn't stick with this team.
Lost his footing for a moment. Deflected. Turnover. A 3-on-2 developing. Richmond's got speed. Richmond works his way in and gets the roll. Nice. Yakachonis. And that's what Arkansas fans wanted to travel. Yakachonis misses on the turnaround. Richmond off to the races. Weaving through traffic. Richmond gets it to go. Coast to coast action. Yakachonis. Step through. Couldn't get it to go. Rebounded by Fland.
He does that very well.
Here's the speed. Give it up. Richmond attacking. The maneuver by Richmond and a chance for... Well, 3 Arkansas players. Open look. Doesn't go for Ivisic. Battle for it. Controlled by the Razorbacks. Davis yet to get it going here. The veteran gives it up. Richmond hangs and hits.
That's all the dribble.
Illinois will be at Northwestern on December the 6th.
Oh, not a good race.
Giveaway. Richmond streaks in. On the rack attack, Billy.
NCAA tournament. And there's no, let's ramp up, let's gradually get better. He said, plain as day, that's the goal. Win the MEAC tournament, get to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be the goal. These teams are...
Tough shot for Perkins, won't go.
Another just tough shot. Flying through the lane.
Ivisic grabs the board. Pushing. Wagner up and under. Follow is there, though.
Guys that are just wanting to get better and better.
There's Cuello with the bucket. They had a season-high 17 in their first win of the year.
You see him just, even, down 60 points.
Kyrell was making plans to go to Winston-Salem State, where Cleo Hill Jr. and his brother Casey Shaw were at, but Hill gets the job officially announced in Knox. Teammates with Boogie Flan and DJ Wagner on USA's U17 team.
Weren't getting good looks. They struggled early against the zone, and that's why you see Little Rock in a zone right there. Arkansas had a hard time kind of figuring out the zone. But
of ball and player movement yet in this first half. Wilkinson just has to take it himself. Wagner's got it, and numbers. This is a 3-on-none. Richmond with the easy layup. Wow.
Possibly ever in NCAA history to make 6 threes, have 5 blocks and 3 steals. He altered that shot. Richmond on the run. 1-on-1. Euro step left-handed lay-in. He took over a team that went 6-26 last year, 0-16 in the West Coast Conference. Fired their head coach. They went to the conference tournament. They were down 56-9 at half. Billy Richmond will knock down a jumper, and he's hit a couple. Wouldn't take advantage. They lost by 3.
I've never heard of that.
It's hard to do. Somebody's going to get fouled or slop the shot in. There's the alley, the catch from Richmond, and that'll break the scoring.
It's got to hang in there.
Ralph just hit a 3. He had a chance to tie the game. Wagner clears. Richmond on the push, gets the step up in the air. He'll score, and a chance for one more.
You know, he can miss 2, 3. He's coming down with the utmost confidence in his next shot.
That's a miss from Fields. Arkansas with 2 field goals so far in the game. Richmond on the drive. He's left-handed, switched hands in midair, and scored strong. I don't know if he ever had it, yet he collected just enough to bank one in, and he has 10 points. Billy Richmond the third, quickly to the other end and scores.
Thrives. That's right.
Edgecombe thought about it. Now they'll hoist it. They left that one short. Up ahead of the pack, Billy Richmond the third.
John rebound to Anderson. A little bit out of control was Miles White. Arkansas with the takeaway. See if they can get a basket in transition. Brazil, tough pass. Billy Richmond with his first college basket. Williams with the 3.
Sometimes you just got to tip your hat. That was great defense, and he just made a good shot.
Oh, no. How about that basket? And Brazil.